You guys remember when I said that it was probably going to be a big deal that Sony rented out the theaters again? Safe to say that they definitely delivered this time around. After years of purely digital presentations, they've finally brought back the main stage and they've come out with some really big heavy hitters. And today we're going to be breaking down the biggest announcements from the reveal so that you have everything you need to know, including 15 minutes of Wolverine gameplay and 15 minutes of the new God of War spin-off, and some surprisingly strong reveals that no one really expected. So let's start with the headline title. We all knew it was coming. Insomniac have teased Wolverine years ago, and leading up to this direct, they announced that they were going to be showing us some exclusive footage and giving us a bit of a look behind the curtain. What we got was 15 minutes of uninterrupted gameplay, 2 missions, in which we saw some more combat, some finishers, some of the moves that you can do. It's slower, it's heavier, and it's more violent than anything we've seen Insomniac do before. It's exactly what you want from a Wolverine game, and the combat looks built around an aggressive combat style. You're not avoiding fights, you're going headfirst into them, you're tanking every bit of damage, and you're just ripping people in half. The gore is way more prominent than anything I've seen before in an Insomniac title, or Sony title for that matter. And if they can nail the story and character development, this could end up being one of the best superhero games ever made, releasing just a month before GTA 6. We've all been anticipating it for a long time. This will definitely be one to pick up to kill that time before that big title release. But somehow, Wolverine wasn't even the biggest hitter announced at this PlayStation State of Play. That honor to God of War Lao Fei, or as I like to call it, God of War The Cube. The rumour mill had been pointing towards Egypt, another spin-off title with Atreus. Others thought maybe another Kratos journey would take place, but instead Sony revealed a spin-off focused around Lao Fei herself. And honestly, I do like the idea. One of the biggest strengths of modern God of War games is definitely their storytelling. We've seen it before. Everyone was massively anticipating God of War Ragnarok, and it did not fail to deliver. So exploring parts of the world and characters we've only heard about feels like a really smart move. The gameplay looked familiar. It's still got that God of War DNA, but it's definitely accelerated with combat taking to the skies and bigger set pieces. But what really interests me is where this takes the franchise next, because for years the conversation's always been about what mythology Kratos will find himself in next. This game seems to incorporate both Egyptian and Japanese mythologies, which makes it a really easy way of not explaining how Kratos might move from mythologies. It's always been a problem with running out of gods to fight, and in which case, in the previous stories, he just moved mythology. And while it wasn't explained, people are still wondering how that happened, just traveling from mythologies. This is a really good way of not having to explain anything, just making it like a separate realm away from everything else, like an afterlife, if you will. Now Sony seems to be saying the universe itself is big enough to support multiple stories, so mythologies inside mythologies. And if Lao Fei lands with the fans, this could create a chain of new games, a new trilogy, a Cube spin-off title. And for me personally, this was probably the biggest surprise of the entire event. The second Santa Monica Studios came up, we knew we were in for something massive. Outside of our 2 big headliners, there were a few announcements that definitely deserve some attention. First up is Rayman Legends Retold. This looks like a title that is probably one that you just pick up to pass the time. It looks like a fun kind of game to turn your brain off and just enjoy. After Rayman, there was Ill, which is a horror game title that looks to scratch that kind of body horror atmosphere, like creepy atmosphere kind of itch that you might have. Definitely worth picking up. The creature designs looked graphic and it looked terrifying, like surpassing the level of Resident Evil's kind of terrifying. And graphically, it's something I've never seen before. After that, we got Silent Hill Townfall, continuing the Silent Hill franchise in England this time round. To be honest, I don't have much hope for this title because the Silent Hill name has been just given to a bunch of different studios to make what they want. First, we had Silent Hill F, which I thought was quite good, and now we're moving on to Silent Hill Townfall in a first-person perspective. But the new footage looked creepy and mysterious and exactly what horror fans might be looking for. After that, another heavy hitter, Tomb Raider Legacy of Atlantis, comes with a gut punch of a delay till 2027, but with that, some gameplay and some action shots to get us excited. Lara Croft is gaining royalty, and seeing Crystal Dynamics revisit classic Tomb Raider ideas with modern technology could be spectacular. This is Amazon Studios' second title after making 007, which was extremely well received. And finally, Until Dawn 2. No one saw this coming. One of the best horror choice games ever made. So seeing a proper sequel finally announced is something horror fans have wanted for years. So overall, this felt less like a state of play and more like a mini PlayStation showcase. Wolverine finally looks real and not in our heads anymore. God of War got a huge new direction that looks very promising. Tomb Raider is back and better than ever. Until Dawn has returned, which no one saw coming. Silent Hill looks strong but a little bit controversial, and Sony definitely delivered. Now, before we finish, it's important to address the elephant in the room. There was no Bloodborne, still no Bloodborne, and at this point, I don't think there will ever be a Bloodborne. It feels like we're all in some kind of eternal punishment designed by From Software, where we just cope for every single event that maybe they'll show something. But maybe before the year 2050, we'll see an update. If you enjoyed the video, please drop a like and subscribe to Press Start Productions, and let me know in the comments what your game of the showcase was.